All righty. Good evening. Thumbs up if you can see me, if you can hear me. What's up, Saul Thompson? What's up, Petya? I'm going to see you in about an hour on our Kings of DeFi call. What's up, Raylene? Good to see you, Encore. I'll see you shortly as well. What's up, St. Shane Giles? We got Michael Weatherburn down under as well. We got Hussein. Great to see everybody here tonight. We kind of decided to go ahead and jump on here and talk a little bit about how to build a business. So that's what I'm going to talk about tonight. If you're here, turn cameras on. You know I love to see a pretty face, and otherwise I get a little grumpy. So turn cameras on. Leave any questions you have in the chat. But we're going to jump into this tonight and talk about some concepts that I've been teaching now for coming up on 8 years. And these are ways that you can build your own business. And this is what we've done here at London Real for the past 10 years. You can watch. You can go see my earlier videos back in 2011 to where we are now, and you can see the various products that we launches and the various businesses and revenue streams that we've generated. Perhaps the best example of this is the last year. I literally ran to be the next mayor of London. On May 6th, there was the elections. On May 8th, I went to City Hall. They read the results out on the BBC. And on May 10th, I was back in the office on Monday designing our brand new academy, which was Crypto and DeFi. And I think a month later, we launched our first course in Crypto and DeFi, and it became a massive success. And the only reason I was able to pivot from literally being in politics mode for 7 or 8 months straight, running around in a bus around London, going through 5,000 boroughs, the police pulling me over, you know the whole deal. And then I could switch right into product development and create multi-million-dollar launch is because of the concepts I'm going to teach to you tonight. We had done it so many years. I had created so many products, the Business Accelerator, the Broadcast Yourself course, the Speak to Inspire public speaking course, the Life Accelerator, the Tribe low-cost product, the Inner Circle high-cost product, that we had done this so many times and taught this course so many ways that when it came time for us to create something in the crypto and DeFi space, we did it and we really nailed it. And I think a lot of people don't understand how we did it, but we did it because of what I'm going to teach you tonight. And so I want to show you some things that we teach actually in our Business Accelerator course, which we're bringing back next week. And I want to share with you some of the insights that you might have the privilege of receiving. It's an 8-week course where I walk you through everything from basically having no idea of what you want to do to create a business to actually generating revenue by selling a course by the end of it. And this is part of the course that I'm going to teach everybody tonight. Does that sound good for the use of your time for the next 30 or 40 minutes? This IP is timeless. It's really good. And it works across so many different platforms, so many different business models. I've graduated 3,000 or 4,000 students from this course, Business Accelerator, and from a range of ideas. I've taught people how to make money from yoga, Reiki, martial arts, veganism, business to business plays, business to government plays. I had a defense contractor that came on and he sold products on my course. So this is not about, again, a consumer product. This is about any intellectual property you have in your head, which could be anything from being a doctor, a lawyer, a real estate developer, a defense contractor, to a healer, to anything, and getting that into someone else's head via digital products. I love digital products because with a digital product, you can sell it to anybody in the world and you've got potentially hundreds of millions of clients. And again, this is exactly what we did in the Crypto and DeFi Accelerator. We sold products to, I think, 60 people in 60 countries from around the world. If you were on that course, you sometimes saw people in 14 different time zones, and we really delivered a high quality product. And it's because of the mindsets that I'm going to teach here tonight. So again, it's really good stuff. I honestly don't think this stuff will ever go out of date. And for me, it's the best way to teach students like you how to get started in business. Again, a lot of people, when they first think of a business, they think I have to sell a physical product. Has anyone ever thought that before? I've got to create a product and sell it on Amazon and ship it. I'm going to do vegan cooking. I'm going to do a yoga mat. I'm going to do whatever. And I always tell people you're wrong. You can transfer your vegan cooking IP through a digital product. You can transfer yoga skills to a digital product. You can transfer medicine skills, physical movement skills. Hell, I taught a public speaking course across Zoom. It actually worked. So again, a lot of these things that are caught up in your mind that stop you from starting your business, I'm here to break all down so you can just jump in there. So how does it sound? Should we get started, everybody, and jump into this? I got a slide presentation. I got my whiteboard. I'm going to be dropping the science on you. And again, this just feels like it's in my bones, this stuff. And it's interesting now that I'm talking about it, because when we finished to be the mayoral race, and I looked at DeFi and I thought, wow, this is going to be the next big thing. And I believe it will be, continue to believe that. I literally went into product mode, and it took me a few hours, and I didn't even realize I was going into it because I had done it so many times. And I looked at the space, I looked at a competitive analysis, which is what we do in the Business Accelerator. I went and bought everybody's product out there, and they were all garbage. I went and learned all this IP, and I went and tested my customers. We started talking about it, and I think on our first course, we sold the course to 150 students. It was a massive launch. From having no product in crypto and DeFi to 150 student launch, which I think was like, I don't know if it was a 7-figure launch that month, but it was close to it. And then we did it every month for the 12 months afterwards and just crushed those figures. Then we brought in Kings of DeFi, Investment Club, and it's been an incredible franchise. But I feel like with what I'm teaching you tonight, any of you can do that in anything you want to do. And that's what I'm going to teach. So tonight, this is called the roadmap from 0 to a 7-figure business. And again, it's easy to see people that throw these terms around, but we've literally done this in the last 12 months. So if you want to learn from someone, you can see it. And a lot of you have been on this course. How many people, raise your hand if you've been on our Crypto and DeFi Academy course or one of our other courses in the past? So you've seen us do it. And this is maybe a little bit behind the scenes of the mentality of how we do it. So that's what I want to jump in tonight. I got my whiteboard here. I'm going to be downshifting between one and the other. Again, while we're here, if everybody could just type in and tell me, what's your business idea? What is your passion that you want to turn into a business? That's what I want to see. Just type that in the chat. I think they might be going directly to me, but just type it in. And again, if you're here, give me an answer. Don't be shy here, because I really want to find out what it is. What do you think it is? I had a great guest in here one time that said, well, if you don't know the answer, what would the answer be if you did know? How about that? So just type in there, is it DeFi? Is it crypto? Is it whatever? Just type that in the chat and I'll shout those out. So let me do that, and let me jump in to this presentation. I'm going to share this thing and we can rock and roll here. Can everyone see that presentation? Just thumbs up if you can see that. Michael, can you see that? Petya, can you see it? Okay. So this is the roadmap from 0 to a 7-figure business. And again, I got my whiteboard out here. I'm going to be dropping between this and that. I'm going to be going through some very big concepts of what it takes to start a business. I think you're all prepared right now to teach some type of learning and create digital products. We all can. Again, I've had students from 17 years old up to like 84 years old in countries all around the world, different IPs, all sorts of experience levels. It was the people that went in and did the work and got uncomfortable that got it done. And again, literally in week 6, people start selling courses, and it's amazing to see the money just ting, 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 go right into people's bank account in week 6. And they're like, oh my gosh, I just did this, Brian. And like, it's from something in your head to where you actually have customers buying your product. And it's pretty amazing to see, and it's really inspirational for the class. So looks like we've got some messages coming here. Some people want to do art, DeFi, writing, crowdfunding, yoga, martial arts, teaching. Okay, these are all good. So keep those coming on a direct basis there. All right, let's jump into this. First of all, again, why start a business? It's a really important concept, and it's something I think we all want to think about. Well, first of all, you can be your own boss, and in times of economic uncertainty, you might need a business on the side to do everything you want to do with your life. And it's also a great way to have some freedom. How many people here like working for a boss? Just throw your hands up, or like working for a boss, or like your boss. And every now and then you get something that's good, but it's not always the way that you want to be the most creative. So again, this is a way to do work you're excited about and live your life on your own terms. Before I started London Real, I was working in the city, and they paid me a lot of money. But I hated what I did. I literally hated it. And I just dragged myself in. I dragged my carcass in every single day those last couple of years. And everybody knew I didn't want to be there. And I was like I dressed much worse when I was a banker than I did now. Seriously, I'd be like maybe an Oxford shirt and jeans, and I would just roll in all grumpy. My clients knew I was grumpy. I remember the day I left, I called my clients up and I said, I'm leaving. I'm not happy. And one of my clients said, Brian, you haven't been happy for 2 years. And I was like, really? It showed? I thought I was a professional. I thought I was at least trying to bring the noise every day. He said, yeah, get out of there, Brian. Go do something that you enjoy. So the truth is that when you're doing something you love, you're giving the most value to the world. Imagine if everybody loved what they did. Imagine if the bus driver was like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? The barista at Starbucks is like, hey, how would you like that latte with the almond milk? We've all met that person that loves their job. Wouldn't this world be an amazing place if everybody just loved what they did? The truth is, I think it's 85% of the people hate their job. So it's like, we want to promote this. So do work you're excited about, which will mean you get the more out of life and your customers do too. Stop wasting time with the job that you're doing, working a job you hate to buy things you don't need, right? That's a little Fight Club reference there. Have the flexibility to control your own hours. I just traded messages with Alex and Mimi Icon, who have been on my show many times. And, you know, Alex, I'm trying to meet with him because he's going to invest in London Real. And he's like, Brian, I'm in Mallorca. I'm in Ibiza. I'm in Mykonos. And I'm like, dude, do you ever work? And he's like, Brian, I'm a lifestyle entrepreneur. This is what I do. I have my own hours. And I was like, yeah, okay, cool. I forgot that. So that's what they do, you know? And so again, if you want that flexibility, then you can have that as well. And a business can really double your paychecks, and it can scale up to 6 and 7 figures. Whereas most people, it's hard to get a job that pays you 7 figures. Unless you're working on Wall Street or in the city of London, you've been there for a long time. It's hard to make that kind of money. Whereas with a business, you can. And I'll show you how you can, because it's got products that scale. And again, it's really about living life on your own terms. And again, making sure you're happy. I used to come home at night when I was working in the city and Mariana was there, and I would just be ground down. And when I had to explain the type of abuse I was taking, or just the nastiness and the whatever, I would just get dejected. And I'd be like, you know, no, I just want to go to bed. And so again, when I'm doing something I'm passionate about, everyone around you gets energized, your customers, your family, your friends, and even your children. So this is just some really good reasons to do that. So tonight I want to talk about the roadmap from 0 to a 7-figure business. And I really want to take a real wide kind of bird's eye view of how you would ever considerably even get from 0 to 7 figures. It sounds kind of crazy, but it can be done. It just takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes just going into the fear. So that's what I want to talk about tonight. I'm going to pull out my whiteboard here and start with something I call the audience funnel. And this is a really important concept that I want to talk about, because to build this business, you have to be thinking about right now what an audience funnel looks like. And again, I'm going to talk about 3 things tonight. The first thing I'm going to talk about is an audience funnel. And I'm going to draw this out for you to just really start thinking about these big picture ideas. Before we get into that, I just want to say something. I always like quoting Peter Drucker. And he always says this: the purpose of a business is to create a customer. And while that might seem like an obvious thing for me to say, I don't think it's obvious. I think a lot of people create a business to, you know, to do what they love, which is great. We want to do that as well. To make them a lot of money, which is great. We want to do that as well. But ultimately, the purpose of a business is to create a customer. So if you think about that, I'm trying to create people that pay for my services or pay for some intellectual property. It's a great way to frame this, because without customers, there is no business. All right. Is that just clear for everybody? It's really important. You know, and a lot of people start podcasts and I want to get viewers, or they start social media channels and they want subscribers, right? How many people want subs and likes on social media, right? Oh, look all the likes they have. Look at this guy, he's got 1 million subscribers. I used to go down to YouTube headquarters back when they would have me, and I would meet these kids down there that had 1 million subscribers before I got my gold button. And guess what? They were still living at their mom's house in the basement. And I'd be like, yeah, but I got 1 million subscribers. Like, yeah, but you got no customers. You're selling t-shirts on YouTube and you're making no money. That's not a business. That's still just a creative outlet. So let's focus on creating customers more than anything when it comes to thinking about these businesses. All right, everybody good with me on that? Okay, let's talk about the funnel. And I want to show this, and I'm just going to pause the screen. I'm actually going to draw this thing out because I think it's really important. So let's talk about this funnel because I think it's really important. I've got my trusty diagram. Can everyone see this board here? Okay, just thumbs up if you can see me, okay, and see this. Okay, good, I'm going to just draw this out. So the audience funnel is an important concept, and I just want to talk about it and draw it out because a lot of people don't always think about it. How many people have heard of the concept of a funnel before? It's quite a busy term these days, and in customer acquisition, it wasn't always that way. But you know, this is a funnel. A funnel implies that as your customer goes through the journey, you lose some of these people. And that's probably true. That's why a funnel is shaped like this. It gets smaller at the bottom. Because what happens is some of your audience is not going to turn into customers. They're going to get bored and go somewhere else, and that's all right. So again, I want to talk about these areas, and let's just start off and talk about, where does our customer or audience funnel start? Well, it starts off with anybody who has ever heard your name. And we're going to call that your audience. It all starts up here. This is when someone first hears your name. Does anyone have any guesses about where they're first going to hear your name or see your face? Anybody know what I'm talking about? Anybody want to guess where are they going to first see your name or hear about your face? Type it in the chat if you can. Think about it. It's going to be on social media these days. Back in the day, it might have been on TV or a book, or maybe you got to be on a news show or something. But these days, 99% of your customers are going to first hear about you on social. That's just the truth. And so your audience funnel starts really with social media. All right. And that's a very important thing to remember is that this audience, it's going to start on your social. Now I'm looking at Encore here. Encore started building this YouTube channel about 175 days ago or whenever it was. And he's slowly built up that audience because he's put out content every single day. Started his videos probably at 100 views and he had no subscribers. Now he's got 1,000, probably 1,400 subscribers right now. And he's got at least probably 250,000 views on his videos. Now they know who he is. That's a lot of people that have seen his face. He now has an audience because he built it by posting on social. This is something we teach inside the course. We also teach a system inside of our course called QVCA. It teaches you how to post on social media. All right, but that's a whole nother course. That's a whole nother point. This is how you first get your audience. They hear about you on social for the first time. But guess what? That's not good enough. Because like I said, I used to be down at YouTube headquarters and I met all these kids and they had an audience. They had 1 million subscribers. Everybody loved their videos and they were broke, right? Still living at mom's house, which is okay, but it's not how you build a business. What they didn't realize is that they had to bounce this audience, especially in a Web 2.0 format, as we talk about in crypto, onto a website. That's what you had to do. So you take that audience and you want to bring them onto a website. Now, why do you have to do that? Let's ask about that really quick. I've got over 2 million subscribers on YouTube right now. Is that clear for everybody here? Does anyone want to guess how many email addresses YouTube has given me from those subscribers? Anyone want to guess how many they gave me? Epi knows what I'm talking about. Big fat 0, right? Do you know how many? Again, about 1.5 years ago, they tried to take them all away from me, right? So I had 2 million subscribers on YouTube. And first of all, I posted a video when I was not such a good boy a couple of years ago. And guess what? They wouldn't even show my video to any of my subscribers. So I might have had 2 million subscribers, but they weren't really mine. And they almost deplatformed me, so they really weren't mine. And they weren't even showing my videos to them, and they were banning most of my videos anyways. So my audience didn't mean a whole lot, right? Luckily, I had been teaching this for many years, so I wasn't waiting for YouTube to feed me. And that's the problem. A lot of people on social media wait for social media to feed you. You know, the most stupidest question anyone's ever asked me is, how much money does YouTube pay you? And I get asked that a lot. The question is flawed. I laugh when I hear it. I'm like, you totally missed the game. And that's the problem. YouTubers back in the day, I get a $2,000 a month from YouTube as long as I'm a good boy and I post the right content and I stick up goofy videos and I do all this stuff. And guess what? When you're bad, they're going to shadow ban you. And when they're really bad, they're going to demonetize you. And you're really bad, they're going to deplatform. And that's going to force you to behave in a certain way. I never played that. So I was less worried about that because I knew about this funnel. So again, I bounced them from my audience onto a website. Now, let me show you an example of what that looks like. All right. So this is again something of what this looks like. So I bounce them to a site like this. Can everyone see this? This is your 8-step trading checklist. So you go from a video on my YouTube channel or Instagram talking about crypto saying, hey, you want to download my free 8-step trading checklist, go here, londonreal.tv/ I think it's checklist actually is what it is. And when you get there, you have a value proposition and you have one decision to make. Guess the beautiful thing about this page is you can't go check out my videos on this page. You can't check out my bio. You can't watch an episode of London Real. You have one decision you can make here is to give me your goddamn email address or hit the road, Jack. That's it, right? Now, this is why you need a website. We teach this in Module 3 on the Business Accelerator, by the way. It's simple. It's to the point. Does anyone know how many seconds someone's going to spend on this page before they bounce or give you the email? Anyone want to guess? How many seconds? How many seconds? Come on, show me some fingers. Mahesh, Encore, 2, Saul. Yeah, 3 seconds, Saul. About 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you got it. 1, 2. Wasting my time. Goodbye, Brian. I'm never going to talk to you again. You got 3 seconds to convert them. So you need a value proposition. They have to see, wow, this is worth me giving you my email, even though you might spam me. But guess what? An 8-step trading checklist from you and Crypto and DeFi Academy, it's worth the risk. I'm going to give you my email. This is why you need a website or a landing page. And again, we teach this in the Business Accelerator. Everybody with me here so far? All right. This is not a picture, a website about you. This doesn't have an about section. This doesn't have a bunch of links anywhere. The more links you give them, the less chance they're going to give you an email address. This is like, you want this or not? One chance. And this is how you convert your audience into email addresses. So we go from the website we convert to email. Now we have a funnel here. So my 2 million subscribers on my audience on YouTube, how many come to my website? Significantly less, right? Probably, I don't know, 10%, 5%. How many of those actually give me the email address? A good converting landing page should convert 1 in 3. 1 in 3 it should convert, which is pretty good, 30 to 40%. Now I got their emails. Now, why do I want their email addresses? Does anyone know why? Have a guess why I want their email addresses? Why do I want their email address? An email address is a beautiful thing. An email address is platform agnostic because email was created before all the tech companies got their greedy little hands all over the internet, right? I sent my first email back in 1989 when I got to MIT. I sent it to my brother at Stanford. I never used email again for 4 more years because it was boring, right? But it meant that Facebook didn't control it, YouTube couldn't control it. If I have your email address, I have you for a long time. Now, let me just ask everybody a question here. If you all got a main email address, just raise your hand if you've got a main email address that you use on a regular basis, you give out to like friends and family and stuff like that. Okay. Now, keep those hands up. Have you changed that email address? Have you had the same email address 2 years ago? Same email address 3 years ago? Same email address 5 years ago? Same email address 10 years ago? Look at that. Isn't that crazy? Same with me. My Gmail address I haven't touched. So if I get your email address, I've got you for 10 years. It doesn't matter if Twitter folds or Instagram goes down or TikTok gets banned, whatever. I got an email address, which means I can send you messages. No platform can control it. This is, by the way, I used to teach this before I got in trouble with YouTube. So nobody can take away my email list. Email's for life. And guess what? With an email, I can also track you around the web and serve you up ads on Facebook and YouTube. At least for now I can. So the email is a beautiful piece of information. And once you get it, you have it for life. And I don't have to worry about YouTube and all these other people. So this is so important for your funnel because once you have the email, then you can then go to the next stage, which is sales. All right, now let me ask one more question. This is a really important question. You give me flashbacks to the Business Accelerator. How many people, when you go on Facebook or Instagram, what you really want to do is you want someone to sell you something? Raise your hand if that's what you want when you go on those platforms. That's what I really want. I want to go on Instagram and I want someone to sell something to me, right? Okay, so Erzan, you do, but nobody else does. Of course you don't. You want to go on social, take a break, right? And hang out with your friends and stuff like that, right? So that's why email is the perfect way to have a sales conversation. People don't really want to be sold on social. They might want to get a website on social, a lead magnet, something that gives them something for an email address. Okay, but nobody wants to be given a price point for a product really on social. Is everybody with me on that? Does everyone kind of get me on that? But guess what? Email is an incredible place to have a long form, nuanced sales conversation. And that's what we do. If we get your email address, as you know, probably if you've given it to us in the past, you're starting a long process with us that might last a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 4 months, 4 years of us cultivating a relationship with you, adding value, giving you content, talking to you about products, selling you, offering you calls with our people. That's where you have sales conversations on email. So this is crucial. This is a fundamental philosophy. And if you understand it, this is how you can build that 7-figure business. If you don't understand this, you'll never get it. You'll just do all the stupid things people do out there. You try to sell courses on social. It just won't work. But if you understand this concept, it's very important. So first of all, audience. You have to build an audience. So the 10 vlog and 10-day challenge that Encore took 170 some days ago, it was created in the Business Accelerator because that's how you create your audience. If you're not on social, you're not going to build a business, period. Look at Elon Musk. What does he do? He gets on social. He is his brand. Like most CEOs these days are their brand. And if you think you're going to build a brand by hiding, you're not going to do it. So build an audience. You go through that in the Business Accelerator, get you vlogging, adding value, talking about your passion. What more could you want? Next, we get you a landing page or a website that you bounce those people to. What does that do? It gives them something. Here's something for free. Give me your email address. I'll give you more great information about my passion, which is why you like my video anyways, right? Right? That's why you like the video. So now I give you something of me talking about my passion. Here's something. Maybe it's something like an 8-step trading checklist, or I like a 3-part video is what I like, but we'll talk about that in the course. Once they're on your website, you grab the email address. Once you got the email, you got it for life. And you can start sending them and building a relationship over email. This is crucial, folks. This is your audience funnel. If you understand it, fundamentally, this will not change for a long time. I've taught this course for 8 years now. Guess what? This hasn't changed. It hasn't changed. Social media platforms come and go, but this will not fundamentally change, probably forever. It probably won't. Email will still be something that's platform agnostic. We all will have email. Kids these days have email. They say they don't, but they do have email. So this is still a fundamental part of how this works. All right, so that's kind of part one. Is that good and helpful for everybody here? If you got any questions, just type them in the chat as well, which is really good. But I hope you found that helpful because this is very, very important. And I'll do more questions at the end. All right, so that's concept number one. Let me just jump in and keep this moving and just jump into my whole concept number two here. So boom, glad you're coming in here. Okay. This is your online business cycle. And again, nobody really teaches this. And this is a very, very important concept, and I want to talk about it. And again, it's something we literally walk the walk and talk the talk here at London Real. So this is your business cycle, and I want to just talk about it and draw it here because it's really important. And again, the reason I can teach these things is because this is exactly how we built our business. I was at Dan Peña's castle in 2014, and I was at dinner one night with some of the students. Dan sent us out to dinner one night without him, and one of them said, "Do you have an email list?" And I said, "No, I don't have an email list. I put my videos on YouTube, and they come to the website, and they said, 'You really need an email list.'" And like 4 months later, I was starting to build my email list. A year later, I launched my business accelerator, and we had like a $300,000 launch on our second course. So it all started with these fundamentals, and I didn't always do them. But once I started doing them, we built everything that you see today. So let me talk about the cycle. So this is your business cycle. And all of you can implement this right now. That's why it's important. So it goes like this. So you have your audience. You have your product. And you have your sales. And this is a cycle. This is like a flywheel is what this is. And that's why it's an important thing to understand, and I'm going to explain it right now. So let's see if everybody can see it. Anyone see that all right? I came a little bit like it. How's that? All right, we good? Okay, good. So everything starts with an audience. That's why I encourage you to vlog and put content out there that helps people, that talks about your passion. So we all start with an audience. And again, I know I'm singling out Encore here tonight, but I literally watched this man build an audience from scratch. I started broadcasting almost 11 years ago from scratch. Yes, I'd never been on camera before. I was terrible. I was awkward. I was introverted. I didn't like the way my voice sounded, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I built an audience. You have to have an audience. Now you can do a vlog. You can do 10 vlogs in 10 days and have an audience, actually. You really will have an audience. You do that on your Facebook, on your Instagrams, you will actually have an audience. So you can start one very quickly, but you have to start. And that's one of the things we get you to do inside the accelerator is we push you to do the things that you'll never do otherwise. You'll never do a 10 vlog and 10 day challenge unless I push you to do it. Trust me, because it's painful. But if you do it, you'll unlock something. It was very hard to get me to broadcast. I was terrified to broadcast the first time I did it, and probably for a year, I was terrified. But this is how you start. So you build an audience. Once you have the audience, you have to create the product. You have to create a product. If you don't have a product, you're like one of those broke YouTubers down at YouTube headquarters, and they use the free lights and the free cameras, and they sell t-shirts, and that's it. But they never have a product. They never created a product. And that's what we do inside the Business Accelerator. We create your low-cost product and your high-cost product. We create a product for you for $97 and for $997. And my good students sell both of those in the course. One of my guys, Roger Frampton, sold $21,000 worth of products. He just went hard. And he did that in 8 weeks, crushed it. That's a business. You sell $20,000 worth of products in 8 weeks, that's a business. So that's what we do. From that product, you create sales. Sales generates revenue. What do you do with that revenue? Wait for it. You build audience. What do you do with that audience? You create another product. With that product, you create sales, and that builds the audience. Let me tell you a little bit about my business cycle and exactly what I did. So again, I started off, created my podcasting studio in my kitchen back in the day, right? You've all seen the old ones, right? It's a couple chairs, IKEA desk. My first Dan Peña interview was there. I wasn't wearing shoes for my first Dan Peña interview. I was barefoot. How you like that, right? So it was a couple microphones, like some webcams. It was pretty basic. But I started with that audience. It took me years, but I created my first product. My first product, strangely enough, it was a membership product first. It was like $99 a month. And then it became the Business Accelerator. That was one that crushed it. So I learned about low-cost product and high-cost product. Again, I teach this because I've been through it. So I created a product. It was a low-cost product. I forgot the name of it. It was like $97 a month. We took those revenues from that product And I invested it back into my audience. I created the brand new London Real studio with the leather chairs, with the new piece, with all of those things. From there, I created new products because I had a bigger audience. I created Broadcast Yourself. I created Speak to Inspire course. We created the Life Accelerator course, which resulted in more sales. What did we do with that? I started making documentary films. The documentary films grew my audience even more. And this became like a flywheel. And that's what you want it to do. And that's why you don't need startup capital to create your online business. You just don't. You create audience by doing your vlogs. You have social media. The only thing stopping you from doing it is you. 20, 30 years ago, stopping you from creating video media that other people could see was a television station, a video production crew. Nobody would let you do it. It would cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. These days, the only reason you're not doing it is because you're worried about what other people think. Most of them you don't even like. You're worried about what they think of you. That's why you don't vlog. Does everyone know what I'm talking about here? Right? All those people on your Facebook, most of them you don't like. You're worried about what they think about you, and they stop you. Okay. So now you can post video, vlog. Right now, if you could do it in 30 seconds, talk about your passion, people would love it. You build that audience. The next thing is to create a product. That's what we teach you inside the Business Accelerator. We force you to create a product before you're ready. We actually create the product before we even build it. We sell it before we even create it. We create the name of it, then we sell it. Once someone buys it, then we actually create the product. And you're thinking, oh, that's the wrong way to do it. No, it's the right way to do it. Trust me. But what we do then is we take those revenues and then we build our audience. And that's what we do. And it becomes this flywheel effect. And that's how you can start very small. And again, on my Business Accelerator, some people sell hundreds of dollars worth of product, some sell thousands, some sell $20,000 worth of product. But what they do is they go from audience to product to sales, and then they go back in and build that audience. And it becomes this flywheel effect. And that's why I don't think you need startup capital to start a business like that. In fact, I think startup capital hurts you in a business like this. Why? Because you don't have to prove concept. You should be able to sell a $97 product on week 4 in my Business Accelerator course. I've seen people all around the world do it. Crazy do it. They sell 10, 20 of these products. Okay, it's not a lot of money, but it's a proof of concept. They do it in 4 weeks. And I would rather they didn't spend $25,000 of seed capital to do it, because you don't need it. If you can't do it on these techniques alone for free, then I don't think you should be doing it. And that's the beauty of a model like this. So again, create the audience, force yourself to create the product, create the sales. In my course, I'll force you to create a second product, which is a high cost product. And I'm going to talk about that shortly. And once you get used to doing the high cost product, which most people are freaked out enough to do, most people are freaked out to vlog. I get it. Then they're freaked out to do the low cost product, especially before they built it. Then me to charge $1,000 for a product, well, I lose most people. Most people don't have the confidence to do that. But once we get you to do it, it unlocks everything. So again, this business cycle is an important thing to remember, is that it is a flywheel, and it all starts from scratch. And it can start with, like I said, one vlog, one course, one product, one course sale. Jump in to make the audience bigger, more higher cost products, sales go into the audience. And this goes around and around and around and around. And it's how any great organic business is built. And it's something I just want everyone to think about. So that's where we're at with the business cycle. Does everyone understand that? Does that make sense? Now I'm looking at Encore right now. You know, for you, when you start those sales of that product, then how could you change it? Well, you could change your studio. You could start broadcasting. You could get someone, you could hire a guest booker to start bringing talent in. You could start creating separate content on Encore. You could do other things to just build your audience. Or you could do what you're doing and just spend your time going to conferences, building yourself as a key opinion leader, that kind of thing. So everybody has a different way of getting this flowing. I built a beautiful studio. I went into documentary films. I did events as well, which built my audience, more products. And you can just ride this thing as far as you want to go. Again, you could even argue that me running for mayor was building my audience, which then created the Crypto and DeFi Academy product. Like, you could say I'm still doing this. I probably am. Look at Grant Cardone. He still does this. He's always got a new product. He's always got a new audience. He's got a real estate fund. What does he do with the money from that? He buys a bigger jet. What does he do with the money from that? He does a bigger conference. Like, the smart money is doing this. So be aware of that concept number 2. All right, everybody good? Still with me here? Send me any questions you have down there. And let me just jump into this final concept because it's important. So let me just get back here and we'll share this. All righty. Okay. This is another game changer. And again, I still have never seen anybody that teaches this stuff. I don't know why. Maybe people aren't ready to learn this. Maybe people just want to hear it's ClickFunnels and here's a funnel and then you make it work for you. maybe what people want to hear, it's just about a landing page from Sam Card, or maybe there's some magic strategy on Instagram. I don't know, but no one ever seems to talk about these concepts, and they're really important. So the end-to-end ecosystem is massive. It's a massive concept, and you can all see it here. Can everybody see this end-to-end ecosystem piece on my diagram here? I want to actually draw it out here because it's really important. So this is called an end-to-end ecosystem. End-to-end. And it's a very important concept that I'd say most people don't understand, but I want you to understand it today. So I'm going to stop this share just so you can see me in all my glory here. But most people don't really have a good concept of the various products a business has to be successful. But every great business, okay, and maybe there's one exception out there. I always get somebody that says, yeah, Brian, but there's that one business. Okay, 99.9% of all businesses have a product end-to-end ecosystem, and they have products of different price points, and that's how they are successful. Most businesses that struggle are missing one of these product price points, and we'll talk about that shortly. So the first one to be aware of is that pretty much every business out there that I've ever heard of has free products. Then they have something called LCP, which is low-cost product. Then they have something in here, which is the high-cost product. And then they have down here some mysterious product, where sometimes they're making more money than the rest of these products. This is an end-to-end ecosystem. So any company, and I'll walk you through a few companies right now, has free product, low-cost product, high-cost product, and then some what's next or back-end product that you as a customer might not even see, or sometimes they'll make even more money than these products over here. All right, is this concept, to start off, does everyone understand what I'm talking about? Let me talk about some of these things. Let me use an example. I always got examples. Does anybody here watch the UFC? UFC is a mixed martial arts organization where people punch each other in the face and choke each other out. And I've been following the UFC for over 25 years. My kids train jiu-jitsu, or at least I train jiu-jitsu on them. This is most important. I choke them out, try to break their arms. They're getting pretty good. They can choke me out, my little boys. Let's talk about the UFC. Does the UFC have free product? Raise your hand if you think they have free product. Yes or no? They do. On television, they have fight nights and they have tons of free products. They didn't always, by the way. They used to have pay-per-view events when they started. The only way to see it was low-cost product. But then they watched one of my webinars and they're like, that Brian, he's smart. We need free product. So they said, guess what? We're going to give free fights on Fox, and we're going to do every week. We're going to do it. And they said, Dana, you can't do it every week. You could barely make money every month or every 2 months doing a pay-per-view. He said, nope, you have to create a market. The way you create a market is you give people product into where they just want it. Once they see the product, they understand it. This is mixed martial arts, right? People don't know what a chokehold is or an armbar is. They don't know the guy can kick you in the face and punch him in the head when he's on the ground. Nobody knows this. They know boxing. So you have to educate them. You have to give them something for free. Once you give it to them for free, then they become a fan, and then they'll pay for it. Or what does the drug dealer say on the corner? What does he say, Encore? First one's for free, right? That's what this says. First one's for free, right? So free product, right? UFC knows that. Most of their product is free. They have pay-per-views, I don't know, maybe 10 a year. But most of the product's free product. They get it out there. Who else has free product? I have some other examples here. Jocko Willink. Jocko Willink has an end-to-end ecosystem. Jocko has free product. What's his free product? Jocko Podcast, right? You get it for free. You get to know who he is. You get his mindset. You get a ton of value add. Free product, right? Everyone's got free product. If you see a football match or a soccer match here in Europe for television for free, that's free product, right? But there's a sponsor there. Someone's giving it to you for free. Every great company has free product. Even if they just sponsor something, that's how they get their name out there. All right, let's talk back to the UFC. Let's talk about low-cost product. What's the low-cost product for the UFC? Pay-per-view. Pay-per-view what? Costs $50 or $100 in HD or something like that. So again, it's a low-cost product, like $50 to $100 product, low-cost product. But it doesn't stop there. What if I want to go to Las Vegas and sit in the front row and literally get blood spattered on me from Conor McGregor punching that guy in the face? I get a great experience. How much does it cost me? Probably $5,000 for those tickets, right? But people are willing to pay it. So you got another high-cost product here. And then what's this on the back end? Anyone want to guess with me? What's this big question mark for the UFC? Sponsorship, right? Come on, Reebok, ESPN, they're paid massive amounts of money for this content, probably more money than these here. They got their back end. And most companies have this, you just don't know it. When it comes to like a BMW, Sometimes their back end is a whole insurance product. Sometimes it's an information product that they sell based on all the information they get from their customers. Has everyone heard of the Daily Mail? It's one of the biggest news websites in the world. The Daily Mail, the rumor is they make 80% of their money by supplying data to companies out there from you for reading their articles for free. They harvest all that data and they sell it for big chunks of money. So every great company has these products. And if you don't, you're going to struggle. Now, what happens if you don't have free products? What happens if you have no free product, right? So Encore starts and he's like, guess what? I'm not going to vlog. I don't feel like vlogging. I'm not a YouTuber. I'm embarrassed. I'm just going to sell a product. I'm going to stick it up on a website and I'm going to go to conferences and tell people I have a product. What happens if you have no free product? Nobody knows who you are. No one's ever going to know who you are. No one's ever going to find your page, and no one's ever going to buy your product. As Grant Cardone says, if I don't know you, how can I do business with you? The biggest problem most entrepreneurs have is that nobody knows who you are. That's it. If they don't know who you are, how can they do business with you? So without a free product, no one knows who you are. Now, let's say you don't have a low-cost product. Okay, so I go to Encore. He's got great videos. Okay, cool. And then he's like, hey, I got this great product. It's going to cost you $4,000. Whoa, slow it down. I don't even know you yet. You want to charge me $4,000 on the first whack? That's a lot, man. That's like getting married on the first date. I'm not ready. So if you don't have that low-cost product, sometimes they're not ready to go there yet. So sometimes you want something for a cheaper price point, $97, $29. Let me try it out. See if it's okay. Make sure you're trustworthy. Okay, great. What happens if you don't have the high-cost products? This is where most of you are going to struggle if you try to do this on your own. What's going to happen? And I keep showing Encore, but I'll get to this. I was there at one point. All I had was a low-cost product, right? I was like $100 a month was our low-cost product. You know what I said? I said, this is great. I'm going to do 1,000 of those, and I'm going to make $100,000 a month, and then everything's going to be a big party. And it's going to be over. 1.2 million a year. It's all going to be a party, right? This is back when London Real wasn't making 20,000 a year. So this was like, okay, guess what happens? You have 1,000 customers. You know what's try to deal with 1,000 customers as a solopreneur? It's impossible. You just can't deal with that many customers. They got complaints, they got problems, they got this, they got that. It just doesn't work that way. What you need is fewer customers for a higher price point. You literally will get fried. You cannot do it this way. Everyone says, oh, I know a guy who's got an app and he's a gym guy and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, maybe there's one of them out there, maybe. But I still would like to see if that really works. And if it is some app, what's to make the app not pull their business model at some point? I don't really believe it. So what you need is that high cost product. And most of you will be too scared to charge $1,000 or $2,000 for a product. And that's why a lot of people fail. And that's why the Business Accelerator is successful. Then there's the what's next down here. This can be all sorts of things. Affiliates, it can be partnership deals, it can be all these things. So this is crucial. If you're missing one of these, you will fail as a business, period. So get your head around this concept. Every great business has it. Oh, by the way, Jocko, free product. Then he's got like Jocko energy drinks. Then he's got his musters, his live events. And then the big question mark, he's got his own company, like Origin Company. He's got his own clothing company. Like he's got his own big partnerships. And he's got his own consultancy company called Echelon Front, where he goes into businesses and does massive consultancies for the businesses. Pretty good end-to-end ecosystem, right? Pretty good. If you look at most successful businesses out there, you'll find they have this end-to-end ecosystem, including us. That is crucial. So start thinking about your business right now. What should this tell you? First of all, you're going to have to create free content. So you're going to have to start vlogging, period. Next, you need that low-cost product sooner than later. Next, you need the high-cost product sooner than later. That's it. You can wait on this one for a while. You can wait on the bottom one for a few years if you need. But this will get you in business. But if you don't have that high-cost product, you're going to struggle. You're really going to struggle. But if you can get a $1,000 or a $2,000 product, you can sell 20 of those, 50 of those. And again, still have another 100 people on your low-cost product. You can really start building that funnel. And that is really this concept of that end-to-end ecosystem, right? Does that make a little bit more sense? Is that helpful to everybody here? Again, this stuff is timeless. It really is. You're going to see it everywhere. And yet you won't see people teaching it. So again, just try to see if you can kind of embrace that right now. Let me see if I got a couple other final points here. Oh yeah, of course. So this is what we teach in the Business Accelerator. We take 8 weeks to teach this because it's important. We also go into how to create social media, how to do your vlogs, how to create your landing page. What are the elements? You actually create one. You set up your email. You set up your free product. You set up your low-cost product. You sell your low-cost product on a webinar. Then you create your high-cost product, and then we show you how to scale the business from there. So that's what we do. Again, you can see this in week 1. We go and we talk about your business idea. So again, we start with your passion. We talk about you pitching your passion, talking about your talent, going into the entrepreneur mindsets. Then we go into finding your micro niche. We really try to drill down into doing something very specific that you do. Most people will try to do something too general. I like, a vegan triathlete for nurses. I like something very specific, right? I like this concept of 1,000 true fans. I don't like it when my students come in and say, I want to be a Reiki teacher. I want to be yoga for moms. I'm like, yoga for moms? Are you kidding me? There's 10,000 of those businesses out there. You're going to get smoked. You want to be something very specific to very specific people. Luckily for the internet, you can connect with 3, 4, 5 billion people worldwide. Do something very specific. Again, we go into competitive analysis, week 2. This is what I did to create Crypto and DeFi Academy. You don't actually have competitors. You have collaborators. You just don't know it. So you start to learn a lot by looking at your competition. Week 3, we actually build the high performance website. That's the landing page that converts. We show you how to create it, how to convert, and you start getting 30, 40% conversion. You start building your email list. That's great. Once you get that email list, we show you how to cultivate that customer. So in week 4, we make your content. It's actually a 3-part video series that we give away for free for that email address. It builds a customer relationship. It starts that email chain. And then at the end of that series, they're ready to buy something from you. They're just ready. They've already built a relationship. It's a beautiful thing to do. Week 5, we show you how to kickstart your social media. We show you how to use it. We show you the QVCA principle. I show you what platforms to use, what platforms not to use. You can waste all your time on social media if you're not careful, and we don't want you to do that. Week 6, you create your product. This is your low-cost product for $97. It's a 6-step product. It takes people from a reality A to a reality B in 6 steps. You design it, you draw it out, you write out the products, then you sell it. Once you sold it, then you create it. That's the best way to do it. Minimum viable product. Week 7, you sell this product actually on a webinar. So we show you how to do your own live webinar. You get people on there, you do the product, you do the presentation, you give them the pay link, and then they buy the product and you fall off your chair. It's amazing. And again, you'll sell your first product to a stranger. It won't be one of your friends and family that'll buy it, and that'll show you that it works. And then week 8, we show you how to launch your business and scale it from there. That's high cost product and how to build this next 12 months and go from there. And again, we've had just so many success stories over the years in so many different types of verticals. As you probably know, we have a triple tier accountability system. It's 16 live calls. It's the accountability doc. It's 24/7 support. It's the team leaders. Some of my success students, this is Roger Frampton. He sold $21,000 worth of courses in the 8 weeks. He called me up in week 4 and he said, Brian, I hate you. I said, I'm okay with that. He said, I hate you. This is really hard. I'm uncomfortable. I said, great, keep going. You'll thank me when you sold the products. And he did, and he just crushed it. But he was out there hustling the whole time. This is him doing a TED Talk that got watched a couple million times. Next, I had Virginia. She had a very specific type of product for women only in women's training, and she scaled it, and she just really crushed it as well. Again, I think she had like $15,000 worth of sales. So if you want it, you can get it. It's just about how much you want it and how much you're willing to hustle to get it. This is, again, just a picture from one of our graduation events with a bunch of my students, all happy customers who have built businesses. And again, I got a few bonuses here that we also like to throw in for the Business Accelerator. We've got something called Accelerate Your Year Plan, which is really understanding the fundamentals of your end-to-end ecosystem. It's also how to optimize your online funnel. And it also talks about A/B strategies, which is really important to test different landing pages and test different pieces of social. So that's a free bonus. We got a second free bonus, which is our Learn Real library. It's how-to tutorials for every step of the way. And again, it's word-for-word scripts and templates on how we sell, how we do our webinars, et cetera. And it's case studies as well for extra material. On top of that, we've also got, I think a third bonus as well, which is a fast action bonus, which is Facebook Ad Master. We go into the Facebook ad tool. There's a bunch you can actually learn in there, even if you don't use the ad tool. And then we show you how you can use that as well. Although for the purpose of the course, you're not allowed to spend money on ads for my course. You have to do it only by hustling. And that way you can prove to yourself you can sell without ads. You only plug in ads afterwards. You don't throw ads. Otherwise, it's just money thrown down a rat hole. And that's the last thing you want to do. By the way, all those people that made that money on the courses, they did that without ads. That was all through their own hustle. So again, we got a bunch of other bonuses as well. Dan Pena live at the Ritz. I got a kickoff call with me, and I got a Chris Eubank live chat that I did with him back in the day, which is fantastic. And again, just massive amounts of value that we dump here on the Business Accelerator. And that's something that we're actually bringing back because so many people in these kind of strange economic times are looking to build this side business. And so many of my students that have come along the crypto and DeFi adventure are saying, Brian, I got real products I want to sell to people. I just don't know how to create a product, an intellectual piece of property that I can sell. So again, our Business Accelerator starts, I think, in about 4 days. Our standard package is $2,997. It's an 8-week course. So it's double the size of our crypto and DeFi course. There's obviously a premium package, which I think includes an interview actually on the show, which is a pretty amazing piece of content that you can use on all of your social medias, of course. And we've got an inner circle package if you want to join a small group of people that are building their businesses after that. So that's the whole story with the Business Accelerator. I think there's a link that we're going to be dropping in the chat. It's londonreal.tv/biz. There it is. If you want, jump in. You can just go right there and buy it. There's no application process for this thing. But I thought I would bring this back because so many people have been asking for it. Again, if you want to invest in a future business, this will get you to do it. And again, it's high action, high accountability. You're not going to get this on a book or in any other digital course where you watch it at your own pace. That's a bunch of nonsense. You have to have accountability. You have to have a system. You have to have action steps. And we're taking action every single week when we're doing this. Again, what are you going to create? You're going to launch that dream business in 8 weeks. You're going to achieve financial freedom, which is the plan. Work from anywhere in the world, control your own hours, and live your passion. That's what we really like. And again, what are you going to get? It's those actually 16 hours of training, 2 bonus modules, all those bonuses you get, and all sorts of other incredible things that are happening on this course. So that's it. I wanted to drop into Q&A right now. Was that helpful as far as just important presentation stuff? Yeah, I forget actually how good this stuff is because it's been a while since we've taught it. And it's so fundamental. And I actually forgot how much I used it in creating our coursework for the last year. It's something that's so ingrained in my DNA that whenever I see an opportunity out there, I just go right into it. I go into competitive analysis. I look at the size of the market. I test my customer base with vlogs. I see if they're asking questions. I design the course in my head. I bounce it off my customers. If that's what they want, great. I create the course and then I modify and adjust the course over time to make it better and add more value, and then create more courses on the back of it. And that's exactly what we did. So we created the Crypto and DeFi Accelerator. Then after that, I created Kings of DeFi. After that, I created the Investment Club. And they all were listening and learning from my customers and finding out what they wanted on the back of it. And it was tremendously successful. And I think all of you can be successful doing this as well in whatever micro niche or passion that you want to do. So again, if you could just type in the chat any questions you have would be great. I'm going to go to them now, or any kind of feedback you would have would be great. So just people were saying here they wanted to jump into advertisement and communication, trading skills, again, art, writing, DeFi, crowdfunding, which is great. Some other people say people asking about questions. Some people are asking me about paying for some of the courses, etc. And again, yeah, we've got the basic plan. The premium upgrade is, I think it's a Zoom interview that we do with me after the course. I think it's like a 30 minute interview. It's something we used to do back in the day. That's actually an incredible asset. And then the inner circle is a small group of people that just go on to build those businesses later. So yeah, again, if you want to have questions about any kind of plans, etc., from there, I'd say the best person to contact is probably Martini at londonreal.tv. Martini's got that. So Martini, maybe you could just stick that in the chat as far as, I think you can type that in there. If not, I think you're just Martini at londonreal.tv. Let me just type that in there. I think most of you guys know how to get a hold of her anyways. Real.tv, there we go. Oh, there he is. Okay, Martini's got it there. Any other questions, just type them in there as well. June says, I have an idea, but how do you find out if anyone else has done it? Competitive analysis is one of the big things we do in this course. And again, your competitors are your best friends, because if you don't have competitors for your business, it's probably no business there. That's why I love competitors, because I go in and I look at what people are doing, how they're doing it. I look at their Twitter followers. I buy their course. Usually I buy all my competitors' courses. I drill down and I see what they're doing. And I'm usually not that impressed. And I'm like, yeah, really? I can do a much better course than that. So that's what I do. Again, if there's no competition for your idea, you might want to wonder. So say you want to open up an ice cream stand on Mars and you're like, there's no competitors out there. I don't know why. It's like, okay. Also, a competitor is a weird term. Like, we used to think of competition because another hamburger stand or another personal trainer. But the truth is that June or anybody else here, you're going to offer a service so much more unique than anyone else. Nobody can teach a Crypto and DeFi Academy like me. Nobody can do an interview on London Real like me. So again, do I really have competitors in this space? Probably not. So you're so unique. Again, if you find a competitor, just do something slightly different or better. You'll be surprised. You can probably actually collaborate with them. That's what we usually find out. Is Joe Rogan my competitor? Is Patrick Bet-David my competitor? Not really. I mean, they do things very different. We all share the same guests. We create unique content. So that's what I would say. Shane says, how do I get rich quick? Yeah, maybe close your eyes and dream. This thing takes time, but you'd be surprised. I sat on my audience for 3 years And then I remember the first business accelerator we launched, it was a 1997 product and we sold 10. And before that, I'd been flogging this $97 a month product and I couldn't get past 250, 300 students. I just couldn't get past that. I didn't know why. We couldn't break through that. It was just driving me nuts. And then we decided to do the business accelerator. 8 weeks. We had never taught a course like this before. We sold 10 right away, $20,000. I was like, whoa. And then our next launch, I think we sold $300,000 worth. And I was like, oh my gosh, here I was the whole time sitting on this revenue stream that literally changed the course of London Real. And I didn't know about it. So Shane, was that getting rich quick? I don't know. Later, we would go on and keep working on courses and build the audience. Probably nothing happens quickly, but you'd be surprised the revenue that you can tap into out there if you think big, get the right mentorship and the right roadmap, and stop playing small and stop trading your time for money. If you still trade your time for money, and that can mean if you're a personal trainer or you work at McDonald's, or if you're a doctor or a lawyer, you trade your time for money. That doesn't scale. I can sell 150 crypto and DeFi Academy products. I mean, I've had 300 people on one of my business accelerator courses. I could teach 1,000 people on my business accelerator easily. I would find the team leaders, we would do it, it would be a great experience. So my product scales, it doesn't rely on my time. And that's what's good about digital products. So I would say kind of stay in there and do that. Let me just see a couple of the questions here. Yeah, as Martini was putting in, we have a whole list of team leaders and community managers. We also gamify the course. We split it up into different groups. There's tons of touch points. And again, the beautiful thing is you learn from the students in the course. So you'll see them do things and you'd be like, wow, if they can do it, I guess I can do it. And so it's an amazing way to see and be inspired by people that have gone through the course. What else? Yeah, I do think mentorship is important. I think you need to learn from someone who's done the work always. And again, if you can see that they've done it, then you can be like, okay, I want to learn from this person. This is literally exactly what we do, where we create content, we create products, we use the sales to then go back and create better content. And so yeah, we're quite experts at this. We've done this. And again, all of you can do this right now. You'd be surprised. And it's a great way to take your passion and really channel it into people. But it has to start off with a passion. And that's why I did my last class last time. And in the beginning of the course, we go into passion and talent and the market. And we try to make sure you have the right idea, because you cannot build a business if you're not passionate about it. You will not make it through those late nights, because it just will not be as rewarding as fast as you want. It just won't, Shane. It just won't. So you're going to have to really enjoy it. But if you do it, you can build something that's going to be super epic. So yeah, that's really important. Good. So people aren't saying here it's they can't afford the course. You know, that's okay. We used to have a course with payment plans, but actually I just didn't get a student that was committed enough. So this is for someone that can see it. If you do this right, you'll make that money back on the course, and sometimes more, if you go all in and just do everything that we tell you to do. And again, you're going to have a revenue generating business in 8 weeks. That's a hard thing to conceive of. You will have a business that generates revenue if you go through this course. Pretty much all of my students can do that. They will sell a product to a stranger based on their passion. If you do everything right here. And that is like 0 to 1, as Peter Thiel says. That's creating something from nothing. And that I think is a super special opportunity. So that's what happens. Like I said, I think we start in 4 days. It's londonreal.tv/biz, B-I-Z. If you want to jump on that, all the bonuses, all the team leadership is great. Hopefully this helped you. Reach out to Martini if you've got some questions about this course. I don't know if we're going to do another one this year, but we thought now it made a lot of sense, especially for the crypto community, and especially now when I think people are looking for side hustles. And I think it's a great way to develop your own business. So that's what I would say to everybody. Thank you all for tuning in. Really appreciate that. I hope that helped, and I hope you enjoyed that brief glimpse into there. But think about these ideas. They're core concepts that aren't going to change. And again, go to the page, londonreal.tv/biz. You can also book a call with one of our coaches who can literally walk you through the course and find out if it's the best fit for you. So you can do that as well. But I look forward to seeing you next week for the kickoff. It's going to be great. We're going to create some beautiful businesses. And who knows, maybe one of your businesses can collaborate with one of our businesses as well. So there's just tons of possibilities going down there. So that's it, folks. I'm going to jump over and see my Kings of DeFi in a few minutes. So I'll see you all over there. If you're not in that program, ask Martini about that, and we'll see you there. Otherwise, big love to everybody. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed that. All right. Thanks. Take care. Bye.